Noviembre de 1995, último partido ganado por Gabi en uno de los torneos más importantes del mundo y que además es uno de los que mejores recuerdos le trae, el Masters. Partido de primera ronda enfrentando a Lindsay Davenport, una Davenport que ya era una primera figura en el circuito. Recordemos que tan solo un año atrás fue a ella a quien Gabi derrotó en la final de este mismo torneo, logrando así su segundo Masters y cerraba una racha negativa de 2 años y medio sin títulos.
Sí, señor, ganó Gabriela Sabatini. 6-3, 6-2, 6-4.
Gabriela ya era merecedora de un sitial de privilegio en la historia del tenis argentino.
Aquí, un año después, veremos a una Gabriela desbordante de talento y creatividad que se llevaría el partido con claridad y sin demasiadas complicaciones. Era la tercera ocasión en el año en que enfrentaba a la norteamericana de manera oficial y las dos anteriores habían sido triunfos para la Argentina, incluyendo la final del torneo de Sydney en enero, donde Gabi obtendría el último de los 27 títulos de su extraordinaria carrera, y más reciente en Tokio Nichirei, donde se llevó el partido con gran facilidad por 6-2 y 6-2. Ahí vemos precisamente una imagen de Gabi durante ese encuentro. Así que sin más, veamos a Gabi ganar su último partido en este torneo tan especial, disputado en el majestuoso Madison Square Garden de Nueva York.
And I tell you something, this ball was not in.
She's going to change shirt. She'd start to run for the loo. An official would follow her. 15 photographers would follow the official, and 5 other reporters and I. We went on loo duty. We would follow her, and then so finally I asked the umpire, why does an official have to go with her to the bathroom? And she said to me, why, she might meet her coach in there to get instructions she shouldn't have. So her coach was an Englishman at the time. I asked him about that. He said, I really do not frequent the ladies' loo. So here we go. Long Lindsay leading off.
They both had similar sort of years, really quite solid. Lindsay won the tournament in Strasbourg on clay. She always wins the tournament that time of the year. It's the tournament just before the French Open. She won it twice when it was in Lucerne and then Strasbourg. And otherwise, fairly solid results. But not quite as good as last year. In fact, her ranking slipped from number 7 at the beginning of this year to number 10. I think that when you start striding up the ranking list, for every step up you make, you've got to take a step sideways to consolidate that.
Service winner for Lindsay. Tenth time they've played. Sabatini up 6 victories to 3.
Couple of good rallies to start this match. Actually feel a whole lot better if you get to hit the ball quite a few times right at the beginning in the first game. Get yourself into it straight away.
Only one of those, but it takes her to break point.
very good couple of forehands from Lindsay Davenport. She really keeps the ball on a racket a long time. I mean, she really stays behind it and drives through the ball very well.
You know, we talked, she doesn't have much foot speed, but she does have good footwork.
You're so right, Bud. Absolutely. I mean, every time she sets up so well for the ball.
Well, Lindsay Davenport, I haven't seen her at the net this many times in one game.
She certainly can volley.
She can volley, and she has the ground strokes to put the other player out of position, and she hasn't taken advantage of them as much as she might have. It's advantage to the server, Lindsay Davenport, the Californian. Woo! And Lindsay Davenport sneaks out of a break point against her and holds strongly. That's our first game of this first rounder in the WTA Championships.
So, Stacy, what do you do for fun?
Hiking.
On Home Shopping Network.
Okay, we are courtside here with Philip Stimson, who is Vice President of Sales of the TDI Corporation. Now, Philip, you've been a supporter of women's tennis for 3 years. Tell me a little bit about TDI and why women's tennis is important to you.
Well, Transportation Displays Incorporated, we're the largest out-of-home advertising company in the United States. Women's tennis is really a great event here at the Garden. The WTA Tour, which has been here, is exciting. The whole community comes out for it. We just like being involved with an exciting event right in our hometown.
You gave a Newcomer of the Year award the other night to Chanda Rubin. How did you come up? Why did you come up with that award?
Primarily because I guess we consider ourselves newcomers a little bit. In 1989, we burst onto the scene. 6 years later, we're the #1 out-of-home advertising company in the country. And it was sort of that hard work and perseverance and all that kind of thing that went behind it that we just felt Shonda represented that, and that's why we wanted to give a Newcomer Award.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Now, tell me about the criteria for the Newcomer of the Year recipient, and why does Chanda Rubin fit the bill?
New kid on the block. I mean, she's young and she's really burst forward. I think when she was nominated as Female Athlete of the Year by the USTA, that was really a vote of confidence. And when she was here playing last night, she didn't go ahead, but she really played well in the first set. And I think there's a lot to come, in the future with her.
All right, Philip Stimson from TDI, Vice President of Sales, gave the Newcomer of the Year award to Chanda Rubin the other night. Thanks very much for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kat. And it is 40 love for Gabriela Sabatini, the divine Argentine.
It's the 11th time she's playing this tournament.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
But actually, there's a little bit
She's
of a...
25 years old.
Yeah.
You'd say, oh, God, is she 53 or something?
Well, there's a little slip in there because the one year the first year she played twice in the same year. You remember
They had a winter championship and a year-ending championship. That's how far back she goes. Nobody remembers they were doing that. One game all.
Gabby was ranked #4 in the world several times, and for a long time just wasn't quite able to go right up to the top.
Ace.
Oh, yeah, that's good serve.
Only one.
Gabby's a little suspicious of the call, but I really do think that it touched the side of the line and just made it.
Well, this is a Sabatini crowd. Lindsay may be an American, but that doesn't make any difference when Gabby's around.
Holly, that's a good serve too.
So Corral, the new sponsor of the WTA Tour, is giving us this week strengths and weaknesses.
They both have great ground strokes. I think Gabby's got a terrific volley if she's going to get herself up there. Return of serve from Davenport, formidable. The serve, formidable, as we've just seen. And I think basically Gabby's got a little more confidence at the moment. And I think she's her general demeanor is one of calmness and cool confidence. Gabby, of all people, has retained such a even temperament through thick and thin. Even when she wasn't doing very well, she would still be as gracious and talk to people and be nice.
Not moody, didn't rebuff people, say, I don't want to talk. No, not at all. And she went for a fine player, for a top 10 player. She went through the all-time drought. 43 tournaments without victory until she won this championship a year ago.
And I remember, you know, I would talk to her sometimes and say, you know, what do you think's going on? She said, I'm hitting the ball great. So I said, do you think
I'm fine.
Do you think there's a little lack of motivation, you know, because she'd been playing for a long time? And she said, well, maybe. And, you know, tennis is a strange thing. You just imperceptibly go off, both with a little confidence and a little real determination. It just makes a difference between winning and losing. Oops. They always play quite interesting matches, these two, because it depends really whether Gabby can do enough to mess Lindsay up. You know, put in enough spins and slices and topspin and find a way into the net if she can. So the backhand, the slice backhand stays really low.
Oh, deuce.
It's good play from Gabby. Slice the ball, keep it low, make Lindsay stoop down a little bit, and wait for the opening.
Break point. She got too close on that one, didn't she?
Yeah, it was a clever little shot. Oh. It's a beautiful forehand. It's not too complicated. Watch when she takes the racket back. It doesn't take too big a swing, and she gets her elbow through nicely when she hits it. Hits it on the rise.
Two games to one for Lindsay Davenport. She has served twice. She has weathered a break point each time. And we're going to come back. Don't worry. Here's Gabby. Gabby at the Garden. Does she love New York? After all, she won her one major championship here, the U.S. Open in 1990 over Steffi Graf, a thriller. Just across the East River in Flushing Meadow, and she won this title in 1988 and again last year. Last year, with Lindsay across the net, it was Gabby in straights. 6-2, 6-2, 6-4.
Well, I guess she's still going to hit some double faults, but
only one. Yeah, well, she's been known to hit a few double faults. She holds the tournament record.
I was just thinking we hadn't said anything about her serve yet, which is really a very good sign, because generally speaking, whenever anybody was talking about Gabby, the first thing they would say is her serve lets her down so dreadfully at times. I watched Lindsay practicing just before the matches started this afternoon, and she was really trying to work on that particular return. She had her practice partner swing out the serves out wide to her forehand, and she was trying to go down the line, so she was not all that happy with it then, and she just missed that one rather badly.
Her coach, Juan Nunez, last year when she won the title, he said, I just told her, serve the ball, don't worry about it. She had 12 double faults in the final against Lindsay. She had 43 for the tournament, which is the tournament record, but she won.
Yeah, he really made her realize that serving a double fault
wasn't a tragedy.
Wasn't a tragedy, especially if she was being aggressive on it. But you see that was, well, to be fair, that one she tried to slice the ball, and sometimes it does take you a little while to get that second serve going. It's not always the most reliable second serve.
40-30, 2 double faults. And 2 games off. The score called out by Donna Ring Butler, the umpire who a year ago was Donna Ring. She's since married, as has Jane Tabor, who is now Jane Tabor Harvey, and officiated our opening match. Romance in the umpire's chair. I don't know how they have time.
Jane married another umpire, I believe.
Who did?
Jane.
Oh, did she?
Yes.
Well, I guess you get 2 in the chair.
Who makes the overcalls, the overrules?
They're overruling each other constantly. Woo, Lindsay.
Very good rally from the 2 of them. Gabby just leaning a little bit backwards on that topspin forehand, and that's what let the ball sit up rather than push through. First service consistently in the mid-90s, 95, 96. Yeah, that was a very good penetrating slice backhand from Gabby.
So once more, Lindsay Davenport faces break point.
You can see right here on this one that she hits it early, that the weight is going forwards, and that makes such a difference to Gabby's game. When she gets tight or a little tired, she starts getting tense and a little late on the ball, falling backwards. I always think she makes it very hard for herself, the way she hits the ball.
Net cord. Davenport. Fourth break point in 3 serving games against Lindsay. And at last, says Gabby, she has broken serve on the 4th break point and now leads 3 games to 2 in this first rounder.
Gabby has great versatility on the backhand. She has the ability to hit a topspin backhand, but also to hit a good slice, which enables her to make approach shots on the backhand. Now, the whole key to a good slice approach shot on the backhand side, get your shoulder turn early, you get moving up to the ball, but you make sure that you hit it next to you, and then you move on in with it. So you're in good position at the net as the ball reaches its target.
Thank you, Virginia Wade. Oh, thank you, Virginia Wade.
She hasn't hit any slice approach shots yet. I'm sure she will.
Ace.
Don't need to do anything if you serve aces.
It's her only one. Virginia Wade, who had a wonderful sliced approach backhand, and what a pedagogue you are. Love to watch those.
Thank you very much, but I tell you, you have to do that. Well, you know, the court's full all day with people practicing, so you have to slip on it and get it out pretty quickly. I want Gabby to come in on the backhand side because
that's how she won the U.S. Open in 1990.
She really hits that well. Now, obviously, Lindsay Davenport does not give her too many short balls, so that's the biggest problem. Lindsay's just a little bit sloppy at the moment. Although it's the first round for both of them, Gabriela did actually play a playoff for the last place in the doubles on Monday. And so that gave her a little bit of extra time playing a match on this court.
4-2 for Sabatini, who is the favorite player of the acerbic Don Imus. He was on his show yesterday, and he was really ragging on the women's tournaments.
He was awful.
And so somebody said to me, doesn't he like anything? I said, I don't think so. He likes Bob Dole, a few people like that. But the fact that he even talks about women's tennis shows, I think, that he's very interested.
Great shot from Lindsay. She's going to have to start converting some of the points in her favor, you know, doing a little bit different. Gee, my English isn't very good.
Well, it ought to be, since you are.
Doing a little, well, I'll work on that.
Okay.
The problem is, you start off a match and you have to allow yourself a little time to really get into it. But if you're making as many errors as Lindsay has, it's so easy to start losing confidence. And that backhand just looked to me as if it was just shall I or shan't I hit it.
Good hook from Lindsay. Mike Crispino has reported. Do you remember when we last heard from Mike? It was about an hour ago. He must have passed 9 hot dog stands on the way up here.
Didn't bring us one, though.
Seven. Did you want a hot dog?
No.
I'll run right down. Anything for you, Virginia Wade.
You're getting fit going up and down the stairs.
You know, I was waiting for Eva Maioli, who spent an awful long time in the dressing room following the match. Obviously deflated emotionally, but very cordial in defeat. She really is an engaging personality.
She is.
Oh, she's absolutely dynamite.
said that Conchita had nothing to lose. That's how she got back into the match after falling behind so deeply in the first set and the first 3 games of the second set.
Well, that's the stock answer. She had nothing to lose, but she had a lot of pain to give to make that charge back. So break point again. Davenport has not served a game without a break point. She saved one in the first game, one in the third game, didn't in the 5th game, and now here she is in the 7th game, and this will just about take her out of the set.
She also paraphrased Yogi Berra by saying that it's until it's over, it's not over. And perhaps she started to think about that at the toward the end of the second set.
Yogi Berra was a Croatian catcher, was he?
Yes, he was. Batted left-handed. Played at Yankee Stadium, by the way.
Oh.
Stocky fellow.
You know, once you've had a really bad experience like she had in Hilton Head against Martinez, losing a match when she was up and set up and 3-love up, it's fortunate, but history has a habit of repeating itself.
She also said something interesting about playing a player who is not playing well. In other words, Martinez played badly in the first set. When Martinez started to turn it around, it was confusing her. She didn't know why. Why is this happening? And that started her thinking. And when you play and think too much, sometimes it gets you in trouble.
Well, you know, Mike, that's actually a very mature answer from her, because one of the things as you get more and more professional and really studious about your matches is that you have to prepare yourself for anything to happen, and it is out of the expected to have your opponent just roll over in the first set. And you're always in the back of your mind, you're thinking, golly, what happens when they start playing?
4 games to 3, so Lindsay Davenport did not fall out of this first set. She's only a breakdown, and Sabatini will be serving at 4-3 when we return you to 8th Avenue. Gabriela Sabatini, who has had no difficulty with serve. 5 points against, 4 points against in 3 serving games.
Virginia, you were talking about Lindsay Davenport not coming to net as often as maybe she could. Why wouldn't she be able to? She seems to be such a powerful player. If she could get to the net more often, could finish points off more quickly.
She has a very good volley. I don't think she's really... I mean, first of all, she bases her game on thumping the ball from the baseline. But if she's a bit more confident, she'll come in. And she's probably trying to come in a bit more, but I think she's got a little tentative. You know, when she's been hitting aggressive shots, she's made errors, so that makes you suddenly start thinking.
What did Donna Butler say? I couldn't catch it. She's said some people in the upper stands were too loud. Well, we're lucky there are people in the upper stands. I wouldn't go along with that.
Good crowd tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't anticipate that right. A good shot from Gabby. Lindsay has not hit her stride here yet tonight.
Here's Lindsay's best shot, 30 all.
It was actually a better rally for her because she hustled and she was on the wrong end of the string basically, but she made sure she kept the ball in play. Finally got an error.
It is 30 all.
Sabatini looks a little thinner this year than she did last year. Has she lost weight?
I thought she looked thin last year as well. It was about 18 months ago, really, that she really trimmed down.
Another second serve.
I mean, she's very, very trim.
Well, umpire Donna Butler has called for quiet in one sector of the arena, have some of the patrons, but
it's the luxury boxes, Bud. They're out of control up there in the luxury boxes.
It's Sabatini. Sabatini works the court awfully well. From the other end, you see that one making Lindsay stretch like mad, and now she can put this virtually anywhere she pleases.
40-30. Sabatini hangs on to her lead, 5-3.
She looks very sharp off the forehand side. Very sharp.
Particularly her forehand down the line is good. And what I notice about the way Gabby's hitting the ball is that she's hitting it early. I mean, she's playing the ball. She's not letting the ball come up and play her, waiting for it. Just got out of sync with the footwork there.
Seems to be responding, reacting pretty well on the baseline, too.
Net cord, and it goes for Gabby.
Isn't this where Sabatini is supposed to say, "I'm sorry, bud"? I think that's the proper etiquette.
She certainly didn't, and I'm glad she didn't. And it's strictly hypocritical when you see somebody say, "Oh, I'm sorry, that's a terrible thing to have happened." Oh my goodness, I wish that hadn't happened. I will take the point.
Serve.
In fact, in a survey made by Tennis Magazine among tennis fans, the majority said that the let ought to be removed on the serve. Just play everything as you do during a point.
Probably wouldn't be too long before people would perfect how to hit it off the top.
Yes,
of the net, right?
A little twisty net cord service ace.
Davenport not relishing that low slicing backhand of Gabby's.
Serve and volley for the first time, and for the first time, Lindsay Davenport didn't have to look at a break point. But Sabatini will be serving for the set when we come back. Gabby Sabatini going for the first set, and we've received word of a control room revolt. Warren Pick has been bound and gagged by several of the players, and Gigi Fernandez is now our director. We hear her in our ear, and if Pick can get loose, this segment of Gigi, the end of everything as a doubles player, magnificent doubles player, is now doubling as a TV producer and director. We'll see that tomorrow night if we can free the hostages in the control room.
She's running the show, she just told us.
She told us, "I'm running the show."
And you better listen.
An exact quote, and I know that when Beatrice Fernandez gets hot, I want to be out of the way.
I'm going to tell Gigi when to give us a replay next time.
Okay.
Let's
Now,
see if she listens.
Lindsay Davenport, a great chance to break back.
Well, I know that our director Bobby Lewis can work with anybody, so I'm sure they can keep it together for the next few minutes.
Hit that.
I don't know
She
if
was
Bobby
way
isn't
inside.
tied up too.
You mean she's directing as well? Oh.
Now, Lindsay Davenport, despite all the trouble in our earpieces from a rogue director, we must bring you back to this match, where Lindsay Davenport has triple breaker, her first break points of the night, just as Gabby Sabatini is serving for the set.
There's one.
Well, she stepped up her attack quite a bit here. And basically, I mean, that's the way Davenport does so well, when she just overwhelms her opponent.
$15.40 double breaker. Sabatini leading 5-4.
Good second serve. Oh, that's very well played from Gabby on a break point.
Break point number 3 coming up.
Davenport had a real
Gutsy
flat.
second serve. Sorry, I'm sorry. There's such a good return, and that's a great shot. But the serve was what set it up.
30-40. So 2 points away from set by withstanding 3 break points. Another breaker.
Lindsay just loosening up really a bit. You know, it's not surprising that she might have spent quite a while just finding her form completely in this first set. And this last game is best hitting she's really put together.
Ooh. Deuce once more.
It must be such a relief for Gabby to be able to rely on her serve these days a bit more, to give her the odd cheap point when she really needs it.
Little headband adjustment here. 20-second timeout, bud, for this. Used up one of her 20-second timeouts.
Gabby seemed to hit rock bottom in serving at the U.S. Open of '94 when she bounced one ball like a ping pong serve over the net, and she had another clocked at 42 miles an hour.
That was a 96 mile an hour serve. I mean, it's just a whole different story, isn't it?
So now Gabby has come out of the thicket of 4 break points and has a set point. She got the line, but it looked wide. Oh, it looked wide. And is Davenport hot?
She's running back to look at the
She's
replay.
going to look at the replay. And I tell you something, this ball was not in.
No. Boy, it wasn't a very big point.
No,
Just a set point.
Only set point. I mean, that wasn't even close, really.
Whoa,
The crowd reacts.
They've just seen the replay overhead on the giant screen, and our producer-director, Gigi Fernandez, has confirmed from her vantage point, looking at 3 or 4 different camera angles, and her direct quote is way out. Nevertheless, we are starting the second set.
You know,
That was way in.
she might be able to use that positively. It was a rotten time to get a bad call, but you know, she can be so annoyed with it that it can just get her right through her lingering nerves and get her to focus totally. Put a little more, put a little bit more into the ball. You know, she's still a tiny bit tentative now and again.
You talked about Lindsay blasting her way back into matches. Let's take a look at the replay.
She has good touch there. That was somewhat helped.
30 love.
Got one of her own back. It would have been a winner anyway.
The court ought to be open. Oh!
Ouch. That looked painful when she had to angle her racket just to get a swing at it.
Gabby actually had made such a good return. She let Lindsay off the hook.
Who says Lindsay Davenport can't run?
40 love. Well, I don't want to give it away when she does, I'll tell you that. So, Lindsay Davenport lost the first set 6-4, but she has the first game of the second. And will return to Madison Square Garden presently. Garden, that famed address. 8th and 33rd, Bud Collins, Virginia Wade, Mike Crispino, Cat Murphy, and a rebel in the control room. Gigi Hernandez and her crew have taken over our control room. Barricaded it, tied up producer Warren Pick and Bob Lewis, the director, and we're at their mercy. But the pictures have come through just as well. Which tells you that anybody can produce and direct a television show.
Ooh. Ooh. Now we could be in trouble for the next 3 days.
Net court.
Super serve again. 98 miles an hour.
So, from Bill Burkett, our first set statistics, Virginia.
Well, pretty much the same. And Davenport with more winners, but a lot more of the unforced errors.
Sabatini winning some easy points on her serve here.
And you just wonder when you do look at the statistics and they show you so clearly what's happened, is that, you know, that Davenport has made too many errors. But, she is as aware of that as we now are.
One game off, second set.
I guess so. I mean, I guess she knows that she's making too many mistakes, and then one loses confidence.
Well, she knows she'd like to play better, that's for sure.
I think we need a computer courtside by their seats when the changeovers can check their percentages.
They may not want to know.
You know, sometimes at the U.S. Open they've had those statistics flashing along. I mean, it's quite interesting.
I know in a baseball dugout you come back and you have your batting coach telling you exactly how you hit left-handers or right-handers in that particular pitcher. Sometimes you don't want to know about it.
Gabby Sabatini up in the 90s a couple of times on her serve, which is a marked change upward for her.
Too. She's playing well. I mean, the fact of the matter is, though, is that if you start having a bad time in your serve, you just dwell on it altogether too much and you don't concentrate enough on the rest of your game. Once your serve is happening and you know you can rely on it to win a few cheap points, everything else is elevated and standard.
Sneak volley beautifully.
Sabatini is hitting her backhand with no fear, it seems.
Now that is a little bit short, and you know she can play that. I mean she's got to take a few chances. What she's been doing hasn't really worked so far, so she's got to actually try and use a little bit more in the way of a different strategy.
Much better start for Lindsay Davenport, who faced break points in her first 2 serving games in the first set, but she leads here 2-1, no problem. 15 love for Gabby Sabatini, who is rolling along without too many problems. She hit a snag in the last game of the first set where she held to win 6-4, but she had to come out of love 40 and 4 break points, which is a very encouraging surge for any player. A morale builder.
That's a much better point from Lindsay. A more thought-out return. The turn before, I just felt as if she reacted to it rather than saying, you know, if it comes to my forehand, I'm going to hit this particular shot. I think you have to pretty much decide.
Ace.
Good serve.
She has 2. Davenport appears to be trying to hit more sharper angles, at least in this set. Maoli mentioned that in her post-match press conference, that she started to hit the ball in the middle of the court all the time when times got tough. After she had the 4-1 lead in the second, Conchita Martinez came back into the match. She started to stop hitting the ball in the corners and started hitting it too much in the middle of the court.
Well, I think the reason that happened to Maoli was that Conchita started to put more pressure on her, so therefore she wasn't able to hit the ball out in front of her, and where it's much easier to control direction. If you're getting a little late and being pushed by the opposition, you end up, you know, because you're being pushed, you end up shoving it back more up the middle. You can't make the same angle. So Conchita definitely put on more pressure.
Two games off. Members of the Spanish media contingent following Martinez were saying that it's all in her head. And in a match like this, it could do great things for her confidence.
Well, tennis is all in everybody's head, isn't it, Virginia?
Well, once you're hitting the ball to a certain level of merit, then 95% of it is in the head. However good your head
We're
is,
in trouble, bud. We're out.
If you don't have a game.
5%ers that we are.
Right. We don't have a chance.
Yeah, I just think Lindsay is
Second double fault.
rushing a little bit. She's not really thinking clearly.
Conchita Martinez has never been a favorite of the Spanish press. They were very grudging in accepting her. Arantxa Sanchez Vicario has always been the darling. And so they were happy when she won Wimbledon, but they've never really touted her too much.
Is that because of her seemingly dour disposition on court? Doesn't smile?
I think that's part of it. She's terribly shy and wasn't outgoing as a youngster, and she even left Spain. She wasn't getting much help there to train with her coach in Switzerland, and she's back now. But there is, I think she's a very sweet person, and but
She's great. I mean,
she
and
doesn't
she's
come
so
across to the
talented.
Spaniards that way.
Maybe the most talented in terms of the strokes and control of just about every part of the game.
I think she could be number one. See? It'll be interesting when the United States arrives in Valencia, Spain. Who will play singles for the USA against Spain, against Martinez and Sanchez Vicario? Will Monica Seles play? She's going to go. Now break point.
Slightly disappointing match for Lindsay. She just hasn't been able to assert herself. Not to take anything away from Gabby, who has, I think, played really almost error-free tennis here.
That looks wrong.
Oh, that's another rough time to have
Whoa,
a backdoor.
break point. Broken. And going to the sidelines with Gabby Sabatini ahead. 3 games to 2, a winning lead.
Who set the rules? Home Rules. America's first home shopping network with their Visa. Finally, somebody's playing by my rules.
Solid performance for the server, Gabriela Sabatini. She's had only one rough patch. That was the last game of the first set when she fell into the rough. Love 40, 4 break points against her, but she held for the set. Other than that, Davenport has done no damage as a receiver.
Just towards the end of the last game, I saw Lindsay sort of grabbing her back and then doing a few stretches. And when she was playing in Oakland, she got to the semi-final there, and she had to default against Aitsuyama.
That she almost certainly would have won.
Yeah. So I think she might be feeling it. Good shot.
Oh. Now here's an opening.
Suddenly she pumped up the pressure on the backhand. Oh, good. Good for Gabby. Oh, it's such great news for her that when she really needs it, she can pull an ace out of her pocket. Oh, good serve.
A break point for Davenport.
We get another look from the overhead on Sabatini's serve. Does it seem like she's backed off the baseline a little bit in her setup to her serve?
I don't think so. And her toe seems, you mean, she's right close to the line there. If that's what you meant.
Seemed on the previous serve, she's back away. An extra inch or two.
The 5 break points have eluded Lindsay Davenport. Second serve coming up. It's deuce.
Just after she'd hit a bunch of really powerful backhands, she ends up a rather disappointing one in the low in the net. Davenport just not really stringing them together tonight. Unbelievable, an 80-something miles an hour second serve. Good get.
Oh! Second deuce.
Most of the retrieving looked as if it was going to end up in vain, but it's still, worth chasing everything that you can get your racket on, even if you don't win the point, because what it does to the opponent is make them go for better shots, and then they might miss.
Gee! That was not an easy smash. Came up to about her shoulder.
I'm impressed with Gabby's tennis tonight.
She hasn't made many unforced errors. Altogether 8. Pretty good.
Oh, that's fantastic. Great shot.
Sabatini maintains her lead. It is 4-2, and she won the first set 6-4.
Every time she needs a big point, it seems like she's getting it on her serve here tonight.
Davenport had a break point, didn't collect.
Every time Sabatini's hitting the ball, there's a meaning to the shot she's hitting. She really has a purpose. Very committed.
Now Lindsay is in the must-hold zone. 2-4 and a set down.
She could easily come in maybe a few more times behind a good first serve. Can't do this a steady diet because Gabby returns too well for that, but to throw in the odd one, I'm sure she would do well.
Good second. 85 miles an hour. Well placed. Oh.
Been a little bit the story of the night for her. Wasn't a bad idea, but she was a little sloppy almost on that volley.
Oh.
Great play.
Sabatini playing with great confidence.
I mean, she knows exactly what she's going to do with that. Very decisive.
Oh, that was a gimme, but she couldn't take it, and break point.
Unfortunately for Lindsay, confidence has ebbed away and she's just not even thinking very clearly anymore.
And another shoulder-high smash from Sabatini, who will serve for a position in the quarterfinals when we come back to Madison Square Garden. 5-2 is her lead. A SWAT team from Precinct 17 has crashed into our control room and liberated producer Warren Pick and director Bob Lewis, and Fernandez escaped. Gigi Fernandez escaped. She's at large, and we will see that portion tomorrow evening on this telecast. No one injured. 3 double faults for Gabby.
Judging by the way she's played tonight, it's amazing that she's only won one tournament this year.
Yeah. That was the first one in Sydney. It's been a long year since then.
Yeah, she won here last year. She went on to win the next tournament she played in Sydney, and having beaten Mary Jo Fernandez in the semi-final, went into the Australian Open with great hopes and expectations on her. Lost in the first round.
To Marianne Wardell. Curious why. Marianne had a very bad day. And Gabby is 2 points away.
So focused tonight. Hasn't put a foot wrong. Hasn't shown us any of her slice back and approach shots, though, that
Maybe
I
hasn't
was
needed them.
willing her.
Oh, I think
Come on, go in on that. No.
Well, Lindsay, if you're ever going to break, it has to be here. She has a break point. Her 6th of the match.
Much better hitting in this rally. Stayed down with the ball.
Second serve, Davenport failing to cash 5 previous break points. But she does here. She made a very difficult volley in that series.
And she played this, cautiously enough and intelligently. Well, I guess when you are setting 5-2 down, there's nothing left to worry about except trying to stay on the court a little longer.
The only break of Sabatini, and so now Davenport has a little whiff of it anyway.
Apart from the double fault that Gabby served in the first point of the last game, it's been Lindsay who's been winning these points. And you can't blame Gabby, but I hate to see Gabby not closing matches out straight away because I've seen some such nightmarish situations with her.
She's had 3 of them this year. Match points against Gate at the Lipton, against Sukova at the Italian Open. Losing.
Well, and you remember also in Hilton Head,
Hilton
she
Head,
played
that little French
Leah
redhead.
Girardi,
Yeah.
and she won the first set, and she was
Her
5
match point in
whatever
that
up.
game, or in that match.
Bunch of them lost this tiebreak. Oh, it just became agonizing watching her.
Now it's that point.
Well, that's very much the story of the match. The unforced errors.
Forehand unforced errors. Another. And Lindsay Davenport, who lost at the end of this tournament last year in the final in her first shot at the WTA Championships, loses to the same person, Gabriela Sabatini, but this time it's at the beginning of the tournament. 6-4, 6-3. Lindsay's best shot was in the last game of the first set. Sabatini served it out, but before she did, she had to pull herself out of the pit of love 40 and a total of 4 break points. And then finally, when Sabatini could not hold serve the only time in the evening, losing it to 5-3, she immediately broke Lindsay Davenport to close it out, a 6-4, 6-3 victory, and she will be playing against the winner of our next match, Sanchez Vicario against Sam.
Back on the floor of the Garden with Gabriela Sabatini, the number 5 seed and the defending champion here at the WTA Tour Championship. She has just defeated Lindsay Davenport in straight sets, and I guess you're taking this defending championship stuff with a certain amount of responsibility then.
Well, I'm not thinking about that really. I mean, it's great to come here to play at the Madison Square Garden, and New York is a great city for me. So, I'm glad to be back here.
You certainly have support of the crowd each time you play here. You were telling me during the break there that you did not have a good feel for the ball in the first set. I didn't see that.
Yeah, it felt kind of weird. I mean, Lindsay today played a great match. You know, she was playing very aggressive and serving very well. You know, so it was really close, the match. And I felt a little bit better in the second set. Like I was moving a lot better than the first set. And, you know, trying to mix the game a little bit more.
And you were wowing Virginia Wade with your service, and all of us really impressed with that. What have you done differently? You were talking a little bit about a toss and doing something differently there.
Yeah, not big things, just very small things. You know, like throwing the ball a little bit better and a little more in front, and just some other things probably to prepare. And that's about it.
Tell me about your confidence in your backhand as well. In the second set, particularly whenever you needed a big shot, you were unafraid to go with that.
Yeah, I took a lot of risk with my forehand quite a lot, and my backhand was better in the second set. I was playing a little bit more with topspin, and you know, I felt a little more comfortable in the second set. So I'm pretty happy with my performance today.
So what's next? Do you sit in the stands and watch Arantxa and her match, because you would play the winner of that match?
Yeah, well, I have to stay anyway because I have to play doubles tonight. So
she's back. She's going to be back for more. So you'll scout her in this next match?
So I hope everybody stays to watch my doubles. Don't leave me alone.
All right, thanks very much, Gabriela Sabatini. She'd like some company, so stick around here at Madison Square Garden for the rest of tonight's program. A straight set victory for Gabriela. We'll be back with more.